What's something people don't know about the first commandment in the Bible? The first commandment in the Bible is found in the book of Exodus 23, where God commands, "You shall have no other gods before me." This commandment is foundational to the relationship between God and his people, emphasizing monotheism, the belief in one God, and the exclusive devotion that God requires from his followers. These words, etched in stone, form the first commandment, the bedrock upon which the entire Judeo-Christian faith is built. It is a statement of radical singularity, a declaration that there is one God and only one God who is worthy of our worship and obedience. This first decree establishes the very essence of our relationship with the divine. It's not merely a rule among many, it is the overarching principle that defines everything else. Every subsequent commandment flows from this fundamental truth, that our lives are to be lived in submission to the one true God. Before any other loyalty, any other allegiance, any other pursuit, comes our commitment to God. This is the non-negotiable foundation of our faith, the cornerstone upon which we build our lives. The concept of monotheism, the belief in one God, was revolutionary in the ancient world. Surrounded by polytheistic cultures that worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, the Israelites stood apart, proclaiming the existence of a single, all-powerful deity. This belief was not simply a matter of theological debate, it was a radical departure from the norm, a complete shift in how people understood the world and their place in it. It meant rejecting the gods of their ancestors, the deities of their neighbors, and embracing a God who was wholly other, entirely distinct from anything they had known before. This monotheistic revolution had profound implications. It meant that the universe was not ruled by capricious deities, but governed by a single sovereign God. It meant that history was not a cyclical repetition, but a linear progression, moving towards a purpose ordained by God. The first commandment's demand for no other gods speaks to the heart of our commitment to God. It's about undivided allegiance, unwavering loyalty, and singular devotion. It's about recognizing that no other person, possession, or pursuit can occupy the place rightfully belonging to God. This exclusive loyalty is not born out of divine insecurity or jealousy. It is rooted in the very nature of God and our relationship with him. Just as a marriage thrives on the fidelity of two partners, our relationship with God flourishes when we offer him our whole hearts without reservation or compromise. To place anything above God, to prioritize any other desire or ambition, is to engage in spiritual adultery, a betrayal of the covenant we have with our Creator. It is to diminish God's rightful place in our lives and elevate something else to a position it was never meant to hold. Section 4. Idolatry beyond golden calves. The first commandment's prohibition against idolatry is often associated with the worship of statues and images. While this is certainly a form of idolatry, the concept extends far beyond physical representations. Idolatry, at its core, is the worship of anything other than God. It's about giving our hearts to something created rather than the Creator himself. It's about allowing our desires, ambitions, and fears to become so consuming that they eclipse our devotion to God. The golden calf incident in the book of Exodus serves as a stark example of idolatry. While Moses was receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, the Israelites, impatient and fearful, constructed a golden calf to worship. They traded the invisible God, the God who had delivered them from slavery, for a tangible image, a God they could see and control. Section 5. Modern idols, the pursuit of more. In our modern world, idols may not be fashioned from gold or stone, but they are no less real or insidious. They take the form of our relentless pursuit of wealth, power, success, and pleasure. They whisper promises of happiness and fulfillment, but ultimately leave us empty and unfulfilled. The pursuit of wealth, for example, can easily become an idol when it consumes our thoughts, dictates our decisions, and defines our sense of worth. We begin to measure our success not by the quality of our character or the depth of our relationships, but by the size of our bank accounts and the value of our possessions. Similarly, the desire for power, for control over our circumstances and the people around us can morph into an idol. We become consumed with climbing the corporate ladder, achieving recognition and asserting our dominance, often at the expense of our integrity and compassion. Section 6. Living the First Commandment. The First Commandment is not a restrictive rule designed to limit our freedom. It is a liberating truth that sets us free to live in alignment with our true purpose. It's about aligning our hearts with God's heart, our desires with His desires, our ambitions with His purposes. Living the First Commandment requires constant vigilance, a willingness to examine our hearts and identify those things that we have elevated above God. It's about recognizing the subtle ways idolatry can creep into our lives, masquerading as ambition, security, or even love. It's about making a conscious choice to prioritize our relationship with God above all else, to seek His guidance in all that we do, and to find our ultimate fulfillment in Him. For when we place God at the center of our lives, when we offer Him our undivided allegiance, we discover the true meaning of freedom and experience the fullness of life that He intended for us. Pause 3S. Section 7. A community of worship. As we journey together in our pursuit of living the First Commandment, it's important to remember that we are not alone. We are part of a larger community of believers, each striving to place God at the center of their lives. This community provides us with strength, encouragement, and accountability. In moments of doubt or struggle, we can lean on one another, share our experiences, and find solace in the collective wisdom and faith of our community. Worship is not just an individual act. It is a communal experience that binds us together in our shared devotion to God. Whether through corporate worship, small group gatherings, or casual conversations with fellow believers, we are reminded that our faith is strengthened and enriched by our interactions with others. By sharing our journeys and supporting one another, we create a vibrant tapestry of faith that reflects the beauty and diversity of God's creation. Together, we can inspire each other to live out the First Commandment with greater passion and commitment, and in doing so, we become a beacon of hope and love in a world in need of God's light. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments below about how you personally practice following the First Commandment in your daily life. Let's continue the conversation and grow together in our understanding and experience of our Lord Jesus Christ.